Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Speedgaming Live 2023 Super Metroid 100% Tournament. We got a really great match in store for all of you tonight with sloaters27 versus phatscott25. This should be quite the race, and I'm super excited to introduce my co-commentator. I'm Kev Nastix, and my co-commentator is Diddy. Diddy, how are you tonight, and how much are you looking forward to this event?
Hello, Kev. Yeah, that's a really exciting matchup. I know Slaughters. She has been a runner in the community for a long time. She has won a lot of things. Very solid runner overall. And Fat Scott a bit more newer to the scene, but really solid runner. I know them from the GT Classic Discord, I guess, and both are pretty solid runners, and it will be a really interesting match.
I think it'll be pretty exciting. I've been wanting to calm a Slaughter's race for a long time. I've been following her since I kind of started out in the scene. Slaughter's probably well known as one of our most well-rounded players in the Super Metroid scene. Extremely great vanilla times across the board, and also an outstanding randomizer player. Has a lot of experience, been playing for many years, and one of the first runners that I kind of got into watching when I first started back in 2020. Fat Scott I met recently a couple years ago when he started out, and Scott's a young up and comer in the Super Metroid scene, creeping into the close to the 119 range in Hundo, and I believe Slaughter's PB is around a 116, but I don't happen to have that information at hand. So, but I don't know if I would let that disparity fool you. Fat Scott has been playing for main categories would be Hundo and GT Classic primarily, and who knows how busy Slaughters has been with randomizer, or how much time she's been able to put into Hundo. One thing that's really exciting that I'm super happy about is that neither runner utilizes the moonwalk feature, so there will be no moonfalls in this run. So this will prove to all the runners out there that you can still get quite a heck of a time in this category without using Moonfall. And timer-wise, they may be synced up soon. I'm sure we have our people at Speedgaming working on it, so just hold in there. In the meantime, enjoy Series Station, where we're gonna damage down on Ridley as fast as we can, just to activate that cutscene so we can get out of Series Station and hopefully get a 45 or 46 time here.
We won't see much of a lead up until we're on the abyss.
Oh, you're streaming.
So what is it, Diddy? Are you a fan of Series Station, or are you more like, let's just get this over with and get to the game?
Well, I mostly play Rondo nowadays, so it's been a long time I've played Ceres, so not a huge fan. Oh, and Scott getting steamed in the last room, unfortunately.
Yeah, and we had a 46-21 for Slaughters, which is a really sick time. Anytime you get a 46, that's really, really good to start off series. Fat Scott getting trolled by Steam there a little bit. But we're off Series Station. We're on to Planet Zebes. Anybody that's familiar with any percent, this run is going to look very, very similar up until we get into the early Supers room, where we're going to pick up some extra missile packs. And to my knowledge, both of these runners are early Croc runners, so we're going to see how they stack up room to room. I'm just really, really happy to be here. This has been an incredible tournament so far, one that I've been really proud to be a part of, and I see a lot of familiar faces in chat, so please, cheer for the runners, call out all the good strats you see. There are so many strats in the Hundo, it would not be surprising if Diddy and I happen to miss one or two of them, so don't be afraid to shout it out if you see something really good by our runners here.
Yeah, this tournament has really been a blast so far. I haven't been this excited by a vanilla match in a long time. Most runners are really good and really close PB-wise. I didn't expect that so many runners were in the 118 to 122 range.
Yeah, I felt a little outclassed with my 123, coming in at the last seed in this tournament. It's been incredible to watch all these runners pushing down their times. For perspective, if you look at the last 100% tournament we had back in 2020, the cutoff time was about a 129 for getting into the tournament. And this tournament was a 123 to get into the tournament. So the abilities of Super Metroid players have really gone up a lot. And I want to shout out to, Insane Firebat and Idle Child and everybody else. And I know I'm missing some key people here, but everybody who works on the Super Metroid practice ROM, because I would say that has been a game changer for really leveling up the competition for everybody across the Super Metroid community.
Yeah, the practice act nowadays is really insane. The dedication and involvement of those people is crazy.
I think we also have to give a tribute out there to all of those who stream Super Metroid and all of the runners that everybody follows that has kind of increased the popularity here. All the personalities I've met in Super Metroid, Diddy, you included, just some really great people that are just huge fans of the game, want to really help everybody maximize their potential and share strats and try to really raise the bar for speedrunning performance in this game. So it's been absolutely incredible to watch. So we're going to see some pretty decent bomb times here. Scott having a little bit of trouble in Parlor. Sloater's going to be the first one to make her way to BT, and hopefully we'll get a one round. And as Hockey says, we don't want a decapitation animation. So we'll see if we can get some good BT fights. Nice sub-5 bombs times for both of our runners.
Yeah, really solid. Some unfortunate slotters shoot a missile over the head of BT and had to wait an extra farm round.
Yeah, really good drops. You'll see that Sloaters was firing off a volley of P shots. It's 5 P shots to a missile. So you want to make sure that you have it down to avoid any of those animations there. Sloaters having a little bit of trouble in Alcatraz right there. Maybe pre-race nerves, or maybe hasn't picked up and started practicing yet. I don't know. Sometimes these runs are scheduled where you have to just kind of go right in and start playing. And this being a tournament match, there is going to be no resetting. So whatever happens to our runners, they're just going to have to deal with and adapt on the fly and, put up their best performance for this run.
Yeah, undo as a category is much about consistency and pulling out the best movement you can room after room for more than 1 hour. So it's really nerve-wracking, and when you make one mistake, you can easily make another and then another and lose a bunch of time.
Yeah, with the amount of rooms you have, it's very easy to lose time. We're an elevator right apart. Scott is going to have to hit both of these Zilas, which will have a good chance of dropping missiles. Hopefully Sloaters doesn't get trolled here, ends up getting enough missiles. Yeah. You want to go down the elevator and hit this door with 5. And both runners have no trouble there. Quick farms, nice deboost from Sloaters right there, and we're going to see another one as well.
Yeah, Sloaters is making, like I said, a bunch of really small mistakes, but you see that Scott is really catching to her, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we're not going to see a route deviation from our runners, but we might see a strat deviation from room to room. So far, they're playing pretty identical. For those that are unfamiliar in 100%, there are 100 items in Super Metroid that you have to collect. We're going to see an early Crocomire route. So, actually, you know what? We will see a deviation, Diddy. I just remembered Fat Scott runs early power bombs. So much like Zost, when we get to Red Tower, Fat Scott is going to go up that Red Tower, pick up power bombs. Really nice reverse mock ball from Sloaters right there. Let's see if Scott can pull this off.
Nice.
Well done. That can be really, really tricky. I like that because, you know, coming out of here, you get a nice little farm there from
Yeah, I like that farm
enemy.
from Slaughters. Using a bomb to spare a bit of time.
Yeah, but we're going to see a boss order. All of our runners are, both of our runners are going to go to Kraid first. After Kraid, you'll see Fantoon. And then after Fantoon, Dragon. And then we're going to finish up the G4 bosses in Lower Norfair with Ridley. That was a nice little bounce off the bomb for Slaughters there to get that energy drop. That was pretty cool. This missile that Slaughters is skipping right there, it'll be faster for her to pick that up later by just a few frames, dropping a power bomb later. So that's just one of the little tiny optimizations that you're going to find in this 100% route. So don't worry, the runners will most likely pick up all the items. If they don't, well, that could be a forfeit. I think deboosting is a really cool strat. You'll see these runners bounce off an enemy and do a backflip if they hit it right. Let's see if Scott skips the deboost right there. But there are a lot of strats for getting through rooms fast. So here's where the deviation is going to occur. Slaughters is going to go down right here and pick up Spazer and head right to Crockemeyer. Meanwhile, Fat Scott, being a GT Classic main, is going to go up Red Tower here. He feels comfortable going up Red Tower. That's going to allow for a single Kraid room. For the Kraid missile, we'll see that when Scott gets there. That'll be an item that Slaughters is going to have to go back later. But done optimally, I believe that it's about equal time for both for doing this.
Those tasked both of the route, and they were around 20 to 40 frames apart. So really a matter of preference and consistency, since doing early Red Terror is kind of hard with that low of movement items.
Yeah, I think for a runner like Zost, it makes perfect sense because he's, you know, how much he's run any percent, and he's comfortable with doing Fantoon. Really nice entry there for Kraid for Slaughters. And Scott, like I said, has a really, really solid GT Classic time, and this is what you would do in GT Classic. You'd go up and get these early power bombs. So just a comfortable route for Scott to do. And we'll show you that difference when Scott gets in that room that Slaughters just left, the party zone. And we're about to get our first boss. And Diddy, what are we hoping to see at our first boss here?
No prom, I guess?
No prom. We're hoping that no prom, or some people refer to it as the DLC, downloadable content. Slaughters is going to hope for a Kraid quick kill. That's a normalized setup there from the bomb to put you in the right place. Hoping for 2 missiles and 3 supers.
Nice and clean.
Yeah, some runners like to wait a second right there and pick up Kraid drops. It's good to have a decent amount of energy because your next place you're going to go is the Kraid room E-Tank, where you have B-Tanks that will do quite a bit of damage if you miss the jump to the E-Tank. So pretty smart of Slaughters to pick up some of those drops right there. And even though it's 100%, there are still many places in the game where you have to pay attention to your ammo count, particularly supers. More so in the early game with your other ammo devices, but supers are always at a premium anywhere in this game.
Yeah. You also want to pay attention to how many energy you put into your reserve, because it will come handy later in the wreck chip and during the Gauntlet Spark.
Yep, and here's that missile pickup from Fat Scott that Slaughters will have to come back later. And that was a really sick bomb strat from Slaughters right there, blowing up the B-Toms. Probably would have been better to do that after the E-Tank so you could pick up some drops. Still has a little bit in the reserve there. So actually that did drops there. So again, you want to have stuff in your reserves, like Diddy said, to help you out in wreck ship later afterwards for the Gauntlet Spark. Really clean movement from both of the runners so far. And we're not really going to know how far ahead Scott isn't, or how far ahead anybody is, until much later. I think Scott goes for the charge beam setup for the Kraid quick kill.
Yeah, it's slower but more lenient.
So you see that charge shot freezes Kraid's arm down, so you don't have to worry about hitting a super off of the arm. It just takes a little bit different timing to freeze mouth like there to make sure you get enough supers in. So Upper Norfair is kind of like basically just item completion. You're not at any danger of like dying or losing a significant amount of energy. You might get hecked up by farms a little bit, but I think it's one of the more technically demanding parts of the early game. There's just, like you were saying earlier, with so many rooms and such a long run, you can lose frames, you can lose seconds per room if you miss a jump, or if you take damage at the wrong time. So, but I think pretty much what we're going to see. Ooh, is Scott going to get this mock ball?
Oh,
Sick.
swag.
Always so much to call in 100%. What's your favorite part of the 100% run, Diddy?
I think Meridia is pretty sweet. The fact of having space jump for most of the room, kind of nice to have.
I think the other really cool part about Meridia is it's a very shine spark heavy section of the game, and that's some movement tech that we're going to see after Sloaters picks up her speed booster. In one of the next few rooms over here, we're going to have the capability to do something called a shine spark, and the first one we'll probably see is going to be after the Crocomire fight. So do you want to talk about door fixing, Diddy, as a way to save time?
Yeah, of course. So whenever you take a door transition, the game wants to put you, or at least puts the camera at a certain height, and if you enter the door normally, you can lose a bit of time because you are not in a correct position, and the game will try to wait until the camera is at the correct position. So sometimes you want to jump into the door at a certain height to reduce that time.
Yeah, with a game that's been played as long as Super Metroid, runners are always coming up with new ways to optimize movement. So in addition to the door fixes that Diddy talked about, we're going to see other things like damage boosts like Sloaters just did there. The other optimizations you're going to see is the runners want to spend as little time in the air as possible. So you're going to see things that we call either ledge grabs or down grabs. We saw a gap skip from Sloaters right there, so she doesn't have to jump. She can save a little bit of time by holding down as she goes over, either a 1 or 2 tile gap. So just little tiny movement optimizations. When you get to the level of runners like Sloaters and Fat Scott, those are the things that really separate, those are the things that really separate the time, those and probably boss fights.
Yeah, you can lose X amount of time during bosses. At least, and that's also a thing I like about Undo. When you do something like Dragon, you have so much ammo that even if you messed up the spark setup, you can save time by just spamming all your supers in her belly.
Yeah, I think the really, really high level runners, unless you're super familiar with Super Metroid, it's it's kind of hard to see where the backups are. And runners like Sloaters and Fat Scott that have so much experience, if they happen to miss the strat that they're maining, generally they can back it up pretty fast. And on a boss like Dragon, having extra artillery is a good way to do that. So Sloaters is going to start her Croc fight right now. Croc fight, 1 missile will push Croc back 1 step, a super missile will push Croc back 3 steps, and a charge will do 2 steps. Oh, nice deboost and gap skip from Scott. Nice Croc opening for Sloaters. Croc will give you some RNG. You're either going to see swipes or just a quick mouth open right there. Swipes definitely take time. Rough double chamber for Scott.
Yeah, those yellow platforms are considered enemies, and when you do an animation that cannot be interrupted onto an enemy, you can clip through it. That's called a Kago, because Kago is the name of those high farm you see earlier in the game.
That is absolutely true. So if you try to like down grab or ledge grab on one of those kazans or those platforms, you're likely to fall through it. Other places you'll see uninterruptible animations would be is it morphing and unmorphing and shooting, I believe, are some of the uninterruptible animations.
Yeah, and turn around also. You use it
right.
to go in sand.
You also see the runners do things like changing Samus's hitbox to make, to avoid some enemies. So I think, depending on the position of Samus, whether she's crouching in the air or flipping in the air, it does change the hitbox a little bit. Little cool fun facts.
Yeah, that's what they use to do what you called earlier ledge grab. You want to lower the hitbox of Samus so that she can reach earlier the edge of a platform and then get back to the full size sprite so you can land faster onto that edge.
And we're going to see Sloaters go for her Indiana Jones right here. Some nice grapple tech. Very well done. I'm very excited that she made that. That's my favorite strat in Hundo, and I know for a fact that Scott does not go for that. So we're going to see Scott approach that room a little bit suboptimally, but again, optimal is kind of more player for player. There's things which are faster for time in theory, but it's more about what you can actually pull off in real time that makes it an optimal strat for you.
Yeah, consistency is key in this category.
Talk about optimizations right here. You're going to see Sloaters is doing this farming right there that I actually first saw Static Shock do that right there. Get a little bit extra energy and hopefully some drops to save some time. With no supers, I wouldn't be surprised if Sloaters does a one farm over here on these bugs. There's your one farm.
Super, that's going to be short. Where can she farm supers before wrecked ship?
Yeah, CAC attacks have a very high super drop, so we're going to get supers here. Too. And then the other CAC in below Spazer Room is another place where Sloaters can pick up a super. And honestly, the Sovas in Business Center have a generally decent drop rate when it comes to supers. And Sloaters being a little conservative there, not shooting the super before she lands, instead going to try to make sure she hits that door to save a super. I think you want 3 entering wrecked ship, right?
You want one to open wrecked ship, one to open the bottom green door, and one to open the boss door. So yes, 3.
Very good. There's also 2 more CAC attacks if you don't get any of the supers you have here. There are 2 more chances at near guaranteed super drops with the CAC attacks in at the end of Red Tower.
Yeah, and in case you need last resort, you can farm the flying enemy, which I can't recall the name, just before the door wrecked ship.
Oh, the Ripper.
Ripper.
Correct. It's pretty good. So the runners definitely, it helps for them to know what the drop rates of enemies are. And again, supers, even though you're picking up 50 in the entire run, that is something you're going to use to open up pink doors with one shot. Wow, really nice Red Tower down grab from Sloaters. That was a beautiful strat, really hard. You also might see the runners use Grapple Beam on door. Grapple Beam will open doors faster than explosives and missiles and supers and beams. And Grapple Beam also acts as a farm beam. Unfortunately, Sloaters getting caught. You see her laughing right there. We hate getting caught in those vial plumes, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott getting good drops there.
Yeah, really good ammo situation. Lost a fair bit of health, but probably fine.
Should be fine. We've seen a couple runners in this tournament enter wrecked ship with the early croc route. A little bit low on energy. With the Varia suit, it does do decent protection against Phantoon, but you can't just completely, go hard. You do have to pay attention. Really nice super shot from Scott right there. Nice speed shine spark tech from Sloaters in the beta power bombs room.
And
very high level play.
Just right.
Yeah, Sloaters looking a little bit more crisp than Scott. I know Scott had some college stuff that he was working on today and throughout the week. you know, that has been taking some priority for him. But definitely showing some really, really great strats and some really great play right now. You know, usually a little bit later in the run, you get a little bit more comfortable. And time for everybody to get their Phantoon pattern guessing out in chat right now. We're going to see a 2-round, or we're going to see a fast, a mid-fast, or a slow. I love this grapple strat from Sloaters right here. Oh, chat calling for a slow.
Oh, not that many slow, please.
So the difference is definitely. Ooh, look at that down grab red tower from Fat Scott. That is a 6 strat, and
Ooh.
oh my gosh, he's going to get double munched. So those vile plumes up top will chew you twice. Once in the bottom, just once, but you don't want to get stuck in the top ones. Oh, that sucks.
Butters is a bit low on health, but she can take 2 hits before being in a bad situation, so it's probably fine.
And who knows how much she has in her reserves. Sloaters can pretty much do you know, any Phantoon, so should be safe, but who knows? I believe that the Flames and Phantoon will do 30 damage per hit with Varia Suit on. Maybe it's 20. Is it 30? I think it's 30. Oh, it's 20 with Varia Suit.
Oh.
I'll trust Kai. Slow pattern for the first round.
Yeah. So there's opting to do Doppler strat, not an equipping Spazer.
Wow, super Dopplers from Sloaters
Yeah,
right there. Was that 6?
Solid. Something like that, so total of 1,000 damage.
Chat, you did it. Slow.
Oh.
I hate this slow left. I can't do it. I'm terrible at it. Beautiful 2-round.
Yeah, nice 2-round. You're lucky we don't ban slow colors on Speedgaming.
Yeah, I can't do slow left or mid right. Any other pattern I'm fine at, but for some reason those 2 patterns just troll the heck out of me. Really, really great fight from Sloaters. Got really good drops, lots of really good ammo. We're going to pick up right and left supers right here before we go into the spiky room of death area, which is generally the last place where you really have to worry about energy in this particular route, or in Hundo in general. I love this room by Sloaters right here. Right supers is one of my favorite rooms in Wreck Ship. The only one I like, actually. I hate Phantoon. I think my race against Zenny, I had a 7-round. It was just cringe.
Mid, if I'm not wrong.
Decent Doppler on that 2nd round right there. I think
Yeah.
Scott should be able to clean it up in 3.
Yeah, mid fast. Oh, missing the super.
I mean, probably good he missed that super, because that could have been in a rage, but I don't know. I think he got enough in.
Sloaters, hopefully she didn't pop her reserves.
Yeah, it's spiky room of death. I happen to miss it, but it looks like Sloaters, you know, made it out pretty good right there, and full energy right now. So that'll be good. Let's see how she cleans up the top of Wreck Ship. Attic is the next thing that we could see some magic happening. There's been some new kind of strats in Attic recently. Missing the grapple D-boost right there. There's another interesting mechanic about grapple beam. You can do D-boost there. Do these Kazans, do they do 100 damage with Varia Suit? They're pretty mighty.
They do a lot, and they can really hit you multiple times. The worst that can happen is you having too much energy in your reserve tanks and popping them during a KO. That's 100% show to death.
Oh, that was a sick attic right there. Beautiful blue keep.
Yeah, solid. Phatscott entering East Spike Room of Death. Let's see how it goes. Has plenty of energy, so should be fine.
Yep, nice D-boost right there. Sloater's doing pretty good getting through these. Was doing a good job getting through these robots. They can be kind of trolly. You just kind of wiggle through them when you have those iframes right there. It's a really interesting mechanic. I don't know why that works, but it does.
Nice cancel D-boost into the mosquito.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I love this jump right here. I used to Shine Spark to get that missile right there, but it's so much cooler to do that jump, and you save a little bit of energy too, so it says dual purposes there. It looks swag, and it saves health.
And time, since you don't have the crash animation.
Good point. Yeah, a lot of times the Shine Spark looks like it would be faster, but you have to mitigate that crash animation right there, which does take up time. Looks like Sloaters is going for this bowling spark here. Got the short charge.
Interesting, so she does not go for the robot flush strat.
Yeah, robot flush saves some time right there, but you know, I don't know if that's a strat Sloaters just, you know, ignores, or perhaps she's just trying to be consistent here. I think that spark is really, really good. You know, guaranteed to make it across. You don't need to worry about, you know, getting triple hit on the spikes right there. I don't know what the difference is in energy. Scotty getting trolled by those robots right there. That room can be such a pain.
Yeah, opting to use missile on the last robot.
Sloater's energy is looking very, very good for this section of the game. Oh, Scott. Attic is a really, really difficult room to optimize, especially when it comes to menuing. Most of our runners will use one, you know, they'll use one button to menu and the other to item cancel to get back to the start of their menuing, so there's less inputs overall. And some runners just hate using item cancel altogether. I learned very early on when I started Hundo that you really, you know, need to get familiar with item cancel if you want some of your rooms to go fast. Oh, I thought she was going to get that speed ball there. Looks like Scott might be going for robot flush, charging a shot here. I can't hear if he got it. So he might be able to get one robot, might be able to get two. So we'll take a look when Scott goes down, and those robots that Sloaters had to shoot out of the way. There is a chance that Scott got one of them or both of them in the hole, and that definitely helps out. I don't think I've seen Sloaters make any big mistakes at this point. This has been a pretty clean run already.
Yeah, really solid. Some small room adjustment, but only a couple of seconds here and there. Very clean run overall.
I mean, that's another thing like I was talking about is you really don't even notice when they're messing up. And Scott got one of those robots in, will save a little bit of time over Sloaters there. Sloaters going for the wraparound shot. You can shoot to the right, and for some reason it opens up the door to the left. I'll let somebody more technical than me explain that if they want. Has something to do with like how the memory stores something. I don't know.
Yeah, the game stores a copy of rooms that are to the left, to the right of the room, so you can kind of reach them, but not entirely, because you need the beam to be just fully wide to reach the door. It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird, but it makes that gauntlet spark, you know, one of the marquee movements in Hundo. I really love that strat. Sloaters being a little aggressive here. Oof, going down. When runners do those quick drops right there, I get so nervous. Like I don't trust my D-pad near enough to go for that room that fast. So if you miss one of those missiles, those crumble blocks only break on one side. If you're not in the middle of both of them, you have to go all the way around to get the other missile. Nobody misses the gauntlet missiles. I feel like somebody did yesterday. I generally don't, but every once in a while.
Way worse happened yesterday. Poor Cash Mod did a pause frame perfect during the gauntlet spark and clipped through the transition out of bound.
Yeah, I think there's that. Unfortunately, Cash Mod soft locked out of bounds, and I feel like maybe it was Nick Player, or it was at least Nick Player's match where somebody missed those gauntlet missiles. Scott having a little trouble with this wraparound shot. I feel like he's too far left. I still think he's too far left. So I'm not sure if he got the door. Popping these reserves. You need like, this is going to be rough because you need like 230.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna have to jump ahead. Oh, I don't like this. I really don't like this. Okay, it should be fine if he.
As long as he doesn't get grabbed by this yappy. Oh, nice clutch, big energy right there. All right, I think he's going to be okay. This is still pretty sketch. Yeah, that was a nice backup short jump. Oh, are we going to see it? Go, Scott, go.
No.
Oh,
Unfortunately, he misselected power bombs and put a bomb instead.
Oh, I didn't happen to notice that. So he got the actual hard part of the strat. So no Teletubby Huggy today, unfortunately. Yeah, that was a really sick attempt. Scott, by the way, it's worth mentioning that Scott plays, I believe, with a joystick and not a D-pad, which is nuts.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to wall jump with a stick.
I love watching Scott run. I've gotten to know Scott pretty well over the last 2 years, and just an excellent person all around. So hopefully, that was a nice strat there. I hope you can clean it up just a little bit here. Right now, Sloaters is definitely looking cleaner room to room.
Yeah, the nervosity of the beginning of the run seems to be out, and she is cleaning room by room.
Yeah, but Sloaters has Meridia next after the pink and green Brinstar cleanup, and Meridia has been often said by many runners that's where your run goes to die. So let's see if she can keep things clean running through here to Meridia. I love all those D-boosts. D-boosts and mock balls are like my favorite movement tech of any video game I've ever seen. Oh. Anytime you can open up a door and mock ball through it is just sick. So this section right here that Sloaters is going to, these waterway missiles, is one of the reasons why a Moondance route in Hundo isn't more powerful. You need Speed Booster to go here and get this E-Tank. Otherwise, you could do the Moondance and you could clear green and pink Bryn in one shot. Oh, wait, no, you wouldn't have power bombs, would you? I don't know. I'm just talking.
You would have power bomb if you do the Moondance.
Yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, you would have it because of Eddie Coons. You physically die in Wreck Ship, mentally die in Meridia. That's a good way to put it, Diddy.
Flutter's putting a power bomb here just to open the door. She will take right at the end of the game.
That's good to mention that Sloaters opened that power bomb door early, and we won't see that again until well after Lower Norfair. Just narrowly missing that blockbuster. So I would say that Meridia, other than Turian, is the most technically demanding. Well, actually, the Blue Bryn cleanup is extremely technically demanding too. The whole game is. Let's see if Sloaters can get this short charge.
Missing 2 times. All right. Oh.
Thirst try?
Yeah.
Or was it forced? I can't do that short charge. I go up on the ledge above. It's a little bit easier. Short charging is a way that you can get your blue echoes and your speed booster charged up for a shine spark sooner by tricking the game into thinking you've been holding run. I don't know. It's complicated, but it works.
Yes, the game only check that you are going the same direction and that you are on the animation with I think it's the right or left leg, the most up animation. So if you release the dash button during the frames the game does not check if you are running, you can slow down and then get a spark in less room.
By the way, that was a really good backup from Sloaters in Mama Turtle room. You could see that she was disappointed she didn't get that charge to spark up to the E-Tank, but gets that grapple back up almost effortlessly. It was very, very smooth. If you weren't paying attention, you wouldn't have noticed.
Grapple is really hard in this game.
Yes, it is. So as a matter of fact, the entire reason that I do the early croc route is my affinity for grapple beam. So it's just has just such great utility all over the game, but it is something that takes quite a bit of getting used to, and is generally much easier when you're not wearing a suit in Meridia. But sometimes those grapple blocks can be finicky with their hitbox.
That was what I was going to say. I prefer my grapple RBO style, meaning suitless.
So I play so much RBO, I don't think I could live without grapple beam. So the earlier I pick it up and around, the better I feel.
Yeah, Shouts to Hardway Dwell.
So I saw earlier that we're talking in chat about how long the fanfares are. I think somebody said if you add up all the fanfares in the hundo, it adds up to something around 11 or 12 minutes. Look at that short charge from Scott and beautiful spark. That was great.
Do you think any of those runners are going to do the new speed up strat on Shack 2 with grapple?
You know, I haven't seen it yet in a tournament race, but I guess it could save up to 2 seconds. But I have no idea how free it is. I've only seen it done once. Nice one round cleanup there from Sloaters on Batoon. Looked like she was going to let it go. Ended up sneaking in a couple supers there. So that's good. Yeah, it's really crazy with a game this old that optimizations are still being found, you know, just here and there, you know, 2 seconds here, 5 seconds there. You know, we might even see a 2 cries Mother Brain stand-up strat that was done sooner. Oh, Sloater's getting that phone nopey over there. Gonna have to grapple beam through this room. That's always brutal when that happens. There's those grapple mechanics you were talking about, how they can be finicky.
Yeah. That room, the Colosseum, is... You can lose so much time when you don't spark there. Or well, when you miss the spark.
Yeah, people are already applying the Mother Brain manip. As a matter of fact, Zenny got it in his race, I think like the day after it was discovered or something close like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
But that's Zenny.
That is Zenny. If there's anything in this game, I'm pretty sure Zenny can do it.
Yeah, when your 1 round Phantom count is above 100, you stop asking questions.
Nice setup there for Sloaters.
Yeah, really nice. Clean and still have a lot of ammo. And nice spike suit.
Yeah, that was a really nice fight right there. And that was a nice little kego right there for Scott in that room, in the crab shaft room. So Scott is not as behind as it seems right now because Scott has already done the already gotten the Kraid missile that Sloaters will have to go back to. But I think Sloaters definitely has a lead at this point.
Yeah.
We'll know how much it is after Sloaters finishes Meridia and then goes and gets that Kraid missile. Oh, Scott.
Messing up the X Factor. So yeah, going to Kraid I think is around 20 seconds. So yeah, Sloaters is definitely quite ahead at that point.
It's a tall order for anybody to race Sloaters in a race.
And like you said earlier, bosses and mini bosses are the spots where you can lose the most time at a given point.
Come on, Scott, let's get this.
Yeah, you can gain time here. Looking good so far. Yeah.
Beautiful. And look at that grapple on the missile. There's that utility grapple beam. Let's go, Scott. That was great. So we're about to get your answer on the Shack Tool manip. Hopefully Scott can have a nice clean Dre fight. One of the other good things about early grapple beam is if you happen to heck up the opener or you mess up on Dragon a little bit, you can clean up the fight pretty quickly using grapple beam. Hopefully Scott won't have to do that, but it does make for a nice backup if Dragon is a weak boss for you, like she is for me.
Nice one, Spark. Fucking clean.
Woo!
Really nice.
Now this blue suit that Scotty has, he's going to try to not hit dash. Dash will negate your echoes and you'll lose it. If Scott can hold this blue suit all the way to the full happy room, he'll be able to spark across the entire Coliseum.
Oh. Yeah. Slaughter's getting trolled by the snail. So that's blue suit versus spike suit is the reason why you get spike suit risking losing your blue suit is because when spike suit you can run but you cannot break your spin, which can be tricky but faster than carrying blue suit.
R.I.P. Shaq. Sloaters kill Shaq, I didn't notice. Sloaters definitely not too happy with some of her movement, as well as she's doing these top tier runners like Sloaters, I'm sure have very high expectations for themselves. So even missing a small strat like that and losing a second or two can be very frustrating. Especially knowing that the races only get harder as you go further in the bracket. You can keep blue suit indefinitely, Butter, as long as you don't hit dash. So you'll see, like, as soon as Scott had gotten to the end of the Precious Room, he hit down to start the Shine Spark counter. But for blue, as long as you don't hit dash, you can keep blue indefinitely.
Yeah, unless you run into sand.
Or sand, yeah, sand.
But yeah, actually, they press down at the earliest possible time they could start the spark without running out of frame. I think it's 2 seconds before you start, you lose your charge.
Yeah, blue suit is a very interesting mechanic. It's really cool and very valuable for a category I run, which is 98% suitless, where you have to get some stuff in Meridia without speed booster. So that blue is pretty cool. It can make you semi-invincible for enemies and also acts as like a kind of speed booster without using speed booster. But that's tech for another time. See if Sloaters can get this pretty jump. Beautiful. Nice little snail manip that Scott is going through right there. Saves you about a second, or at least several frames. See if Sloaters can get the soft lock special.
Ooh. That's
not as dangerous as the one below.
Yeah. Others picking up a third reserve tank. It's really nice to have that spring ball quite for quite some times. You have so much cool strat you do with that. And Scott picking up his plasma beam.
Yeah, laying that power bomb in this room will do a shot's worth of damage to the wall pirates. For some reason, it won't damage the other pirates. Just an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, the immunity of the two types of pirates are different. Regular beam can also damage wall pirates, as the standing one can only be damaged by plasma, screw attack, and pseudo screw attack. And Twin Spark.
Scott going for the same strat we saw Sloaters do. Oh no!
No.
Oh, that would be the soft lock special. Right there. So you'll notice that I believe Scott bumped the wall or something. It's pretty easy to lose blue right there. And if you lose blue, those are speed blocks right there. And that's GG. That is a soft lock right there. Unfortunately, Scott cannot get out.
Really nothing you can do from there. You can't lose health, so you can even crystal flash out, so nope. That's a reset or a forfeit.
Yeah, very unfortunate to see Scott soft lock right there. Just a very risky strat to go for, but when you're up against a racer like Sloaters, you want to basically do all that you can. Well, F-Junk, you don't typically see runners take safety saves in Hundo. Wow, really nice lava spark, any percent style from Sloaters right there. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Very nice blue fireball strat there from Sloaters. So as they say, a Super Metroid run is never over until you get on the ship. It is definitely a lower likelihood that Sloaters would take a death So, but I mean, if I'm Scott, I'm probably starting over again. I don't know if Scott knows that he does not have to start at series, or maybe he's just getting a file restarted again for a later game. But definitely GG to Fat Scott. It definitely proves what a great runner he is to make it this far into the tournament. You know, right now for Sloaters, just a matter about her getting through the rest of the game, you know, as fast as she can. So at the very least, we're going to get to see some really, really cool strats. That's true. If Sloaters finishes with a 99%, I would imagine that we would just see them both start over. That would definitely give Sloaters another advantage, because she could just reset to the ship. Meanwhile, Scott has already cleared his file. Yeah, lady, humans do make mistakes. It's not completely unheard of. It has happened before. It's just it's a low likelihood, you know. And if Sloaters wants to, she can decide to take a safety save in Turian or pretty much anywhere. We know, Eddie. We've seen. You're pretty amazing. I think the biggest mistake was picking up this game to begin with, because it will completely take over your life. So I wonder how many supers we're going to see Sloaters use on Ridley. Definitely been a fad recently for runners to really unload just a buttload of supers on Ridley.
Yeah.
Not getting there as many as with as many supers as some of the other racers we've seen, but still a pretty fair amount. I'd probably pump in about 12 or 15.
Yeah, Super is the best DPS on Relay because they have their damage double, so when you pop them 40 frames a piece, you can put 3 super missile when doing only 1 charge shot, so that's about twice as much damage with super missile than charge shot per second.
Well, the other thing that also as well is, you know, Sloaters could just pump in these 20 beam shots, full beam combo shots, save some supers for a faster Turian later. Geez, I feel so bad for Scott. So I'm not good enough to go for that strat, so I haven't had to worry about that soft lock just yet. Although Stovetop keeps encouraging me to try, and see that, Stovetop? That's exactly why I won't go for it. It's not because I'm not good enough, actually.
Oh, I know I'm not good enough to not risk soft locking the accident.
Yeah, lady, that soft lock right there, not going for that strat only saves you a couple seconds. Maybe 2 or 3 at the most. Maybe, Stove, maybe.
Oh, it's not doing it, the problem. The problem is doing it every time it matters.
You know, that's just another thing that really separates the top runners from the mid-level runners. You know, a runner like me, I can probably pull off a strat like that every once in a while, but to do it like on demand in a tournament setting is really, really hard. And Scott is a very, very good runner. So we've even seen some of the best. make those mistakes. I actually feel like, didn't Mr. Guy Average do that in one of the qualifying rounds? I don't want to throw shade at MGA, but I know somebody did. I think it was MGA.
Just going to the previous special. Oh, very nice. Not getting the missile, but pretty sweet anyway.
I actually agree with this. I think the way Sloaters is doing it is faster because she can just pick it up when she goes up there again instead of going back. So I kind of think that that's probably the best thing to do if you missed that. And that was a really decent attempt at the Hotarubi special.
That's definitely faster than bombing, but slower than the full Hotarubi special. Yeah, it's about 3 seconds to go the hand back.
Again, to be able to think on the fly like that so fast and back it up is one of the most impressive things about these stronger runners.
Yeah, Sloaters is an excellent randomizer player, and Rando really teach you how to react and change strat on the fly.
I've once heard of Sloaters referred to as budget Zost, and I would disagree. I would disagree with that statement. Sloaters is her own runner, and she's just absolutely incredible, and I just love watching her play. I can't remember who said that. That was a sick deboost off of the waiver right there. Eddie's hitbox host. I love it. Well, lady, that wouldn't be as many hours as if you take the next 50 runners after that. Yep, good enough for Sloaters, good enough for me. That's exactly why I don't use Moonfall. Sloaters was my inspiration for that.
Very good question. If you were to split the leaderboard in two halves, having the same amount of attempt time, what position would it be on the leaderboard?
Jeez, I have no idea. I leave that to the room grinders. So pretty much what Sloaters has left is she's going to go back through Green Brinstar. Hopefully we'll see a reverse Slinky attempt, and then we're going to do the Blue Bryn cleanup, followed by Turian.
First, we're going to pick X-Ray.
Go to die. Oh, that's right, X-Ray. I swear I know where all the items are. I'm going to have to agree with Dr. Amamine right there. I go for suboptimal strats because that's basically all I can do. So we had touched upon that a little earlier in the run. Optimization is just about your ability. Sometimes it's good to go after those hard strats, and you might learn them over time. But if you're going for runs and you're going for time, it's always best to stick with what you know best. Oh, that was a nice little strat right there from Sloaters to get a little extra speed. I don't know if it worked, but it looked good. All right, everybody. hold for reverse slinky.
Nice tree jumps. Oh. Half slinky.
That was a beautiful attempt. That is probably the hardest strat in Hundo, and there are very, very few runners you see that'll even go for it. That was a respectable effort. Beautiful work. See Fat Scott in the chat. Scott, GG can happen to anybody. So we loved watching you run. It's a shame that it had to end that way, but it's been absolutely amazing. It's been so good watching you in this tournament, and I'm really glad that I got a chance to call one of your races. Because now that you're out of the tournament, now we have to call a race together.
Thought I had a bit of trouble picking that energy tank.
Yeah, it looked like a little collision oscillation nonsense there on that taco's head.
And again, doesn't want you to pick something up.
Oh, Scott's not out yet. Scott, you're too good. At least you have another chance. Never mind.
Yeah.
I forgot this was the winner's bracket. Yeah, sorry about that. I've been following the tournament, but I haven't been following the tournament, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I almost made the remark, so of course it's the winner bracket. Slaughters is in there.
I know, what the heck was I thinking? Hey, you can't win them all. These are my after work comms. If it was a little bit before work, I'd be a little bit on top of my game, you know. Now, this tournament was only for the best of the best and Kevnastics.
I mean, last time there was a 100% tournament that didn't have an entry limit. I went in, and my first race I died to cred, so that didn't go really well.
This game has no shortage of rooms that will kill you or enemies that'll kill you. Yes, the slowest qualifying time was Kevnastics. I was out in 2.
For your defense, you played Zeni on the first round. You barely had a chance.
There are actually monetary prizes, lady. I don't know what it's up to now, but I think it's near $2,000 to be split up. All right, let's see what kind of terrain we can get right here. Terrain is one of my favorite parts of the run to watch from runners that are really, really good at it. And one of my least favorite parts to play, especially when I'm on a good pace. There's nothing worse than getting into Turian and your PB is reliant on a baby skip. Maybe the 118?
So, Kev, do you know what Baby Skip Slaughter is going to do? The Stachio, the regular, or the Spring Ball Skip?
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't seen Sloaters run vanilla in quite a long time. Just with everything that's been happening in this tournament, I haven't caught any of her streams lately. So I do not know. But right now, there are several different variations of the baby skip that you can go for, and each of them have their benefits. The fastest one, to my knowledge, is the spring ball baby skip, followed by stachio skip, and then space jump skip, and then the old traditional lag skip. Oh, that room was almost magic. That Metroid 3, when done well, is one of the prettiest rooms in the game. So the next real volatility point we have to watch for is at this part of the run would be the stand-up, which I would assume Sloaters would go for stand-up. Most runners are pretty well practiced in it. It does have some soft lock potential, but I would say it's rare for runners that know what they're doing. There's these, attempt at the spring ball skip.
Moving Varia to lose health faster.
I would probably have emptied my reserves and gone for a Crystal Flash here. I think we did see Susream with reserves very low like that go for a Crystal Flash on Mother Brain in their race. But there are definitely ways you can refill right here. But you know what? Be smart.
Oh, yeah.
Just get the refill.
Yeah, she can... We know she's listening to us, so she knows Scott has forfeited, so she can play it safe.
Yeah, you pretty much have the race locked in. There's almost no reason to go for anything risky at this point. Well, there is no reason to go for anything risky at this point. You know, unless you just want to play a lot of Super Metroid. No cam, Scott soft locked with the soft lock special in Meridia. That depends, Doctor, on which Crystal Flash you did. With that amount of missiles and power bombs and supers, I probably would have just done the Crystal Flash. Well, I'm sorry, Scott. That's what I call the strat. I apologize. Oh, it is brutal. I would be careful there, Sloaters. I have gotten 14 tanks of chain damage on Mother Brain 1 right there, but Sloaters is good. I probably did he? I didn't mean to.
No, that was just foreshadowing, not cursing.
Yeah, Scott's going to chew me out in my Discord later. Taking some catch up on purpose right there to damage down a little bit faster. So with Varia's suit off, Mother Brain's Rainbow Beam will take 6 tanks of damage, and you need 7 to stand up.
And no scamming, you need 7 actual tech, reserve tech doesn't count.
That is true. I think I said, damn it, Scott. I don't remember. So right here, this stand-up is going to allow Sloaters to damage Mother Brain before she gets into her 3rd phase. He said good, another reason why I don't do it. I did say that, Butter, but I don't think that was before. I think that was after he did it. You know, it's funny the way this stand-up glitch works. Like, it looks like it's absolutely intentional, you know, but like the
So
stuff
many
people find in this
things.
game.
So many things this game looks intentional, like the placement of E-tanks or non-heated room in Lower Norfair.
Seriously. And like, why in Upper Norfair is the wave beam room not heated? And then you go down to Croc and the power bomb room is heated. It's just weird.
Yeah, the only thing heated in the whole Croc area.
Let's go, Blue Bomber.
Nice.
I think the only thing I like better than playing this game are all the room names and strat names.
So, what is named after Slaughters? I know the bottom refill of Red Tower is a Slaughters refill?
Yes, the bottom of Red Tower is the Sloaters refill, and the only thing I know about that story is because allegedly Sloaters used to have to use it all the time in her BO runs.
And the bug farm after Botwoon is the anti-Slaughters refill because she doesn't advocate for going there after Botwoon. Slaughters going for what? Going for the Echo ship?
Oh, sick. What a great way to finish the run. Slaughters finishes the race with an official race time GG time of, I have no idea because I'm not in the race room. Let's see.
1:19:22.
There you go. Diddy called it. GG Slaughters. GG Scott. Well, Diddy, thank you so much for doing comms with me. Hopefully we get both Slaughters and Fat Scott in for an interview. It sounds like somebody's here right now. I have no idea
Hello,
who.
Scott. GG.
GG.
God, I promise I did not curse you. But who knows? Maybe I did.
He cursed me.
So, well, it's very sorry to see. I mean, I was so psyched to do this race, and I was also so psyched to do commentary for you that I pinged you to do comms with me, not even realizing this was a race you were in. So I felt kind of dumb, but nice to see you in Slaughters race. I'm glad I got Diddy here. And you said you weren't too happy with your run prior to the soft lock. Is there anything that really just kind of got you down?
Yeah.
Did that come into play at all?
Well, first things first. I was on vacation for 10 days, and then I had my birthday, and then I had my stepmom's birthday, and then I had my first day of college. And so I had no time to practice at all for the past like 12 days. I had like 30 minutes today, I think. So going into this race, I was not very ready. And then after that, I had like a BT time of like 5:35, which is like 14 seconds behind my best, which is like a usual time I would get there. So I started the run off pretty bad. Reverse mock ball was okay. Crate segment was good. Upper Norfair was okay. Croc was annoying, but that wasn't that bad. The Croc escape was bad. Red Tower was okay. Phantom was really bad. Vark ship was bad. And then Enter Meridia. The entire segment from Gauntlet to entering Meridia was a complete disaster. I lost an entire minute. So yeah. And then of course, when I finally get into Meridia, I get the spark first try, like it's nobody's business, of course. And I still saved 25 seconds on that Meridia, even though I lost like 15 on Botwoon. I don't know I don't know how that happened, but
I mean, you did nail that full halfie, Scott. That was a sick moment.
Yeah, but full halfy is like, if I don't get it, it's usually time loss and run, so...
Well, I'm still happy that I was here to watch you. Now, did racing the illustrious sloaters27, did that make you a little bit nervous, or were you just trying to play your own game and just were a victim of your circumstances?
I think primarily I was just trying to play my own game. I was just hoping that I could continue the PV train I had in the last few, where I was just getting a little here and there. But that didn't happen because I soft locked in a very silly way, but it's okay. I didn't think I was gonna win, especially how I felt going into it. I didn't feel ready at all. Like the difference to me when I'm playing, like when I'm ready to race and play the game versus when I'm not, is like, especially this run, if I'm not prepared, then my hands feel really shaky while I'm playing, or like every movement feels like sloppier. Like I feel like I can't execute everything nearly as well as I can otherwise. And I could, like, for majority of this run, I really felt like I just was not executing very well, and I could like feel it as well. It was just rough.
I think Professor School said that one time in one of his races. He said that sometimes you just can't see the game when you play it, and that resonated with me quite a lot. And I've had a lot of tournament races where I've kind of felt that way. You know, you make a couple strats and then it feels like the next bunch of rooms kind of implode, and then you kind of get back on your game a bit, and then it happens again, and just the game is just not agreeing with what you're seeing there. So I'm really sorry that happened to you tonight, Scott, but you know, really great to see you in this tournament. I'm glad you were able to join the tournament, and definitely wish you the best of luck in your next match. Do we know who you play next or not yet?
I think it's I don't know how to pronounce it. Razon.
Is it Razon?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I would feel bad to say the wrong thing, but
They're really good for sure.
yeah, I think that race it'll be a little closer in skill level at least, because I think, like, even though my PB's a 120, I know for a fact I can do a lot better than that. I just haven't had the time to actually run the game, so because it's been very busy. But I think that one will be good, and I'm okay with like losing that one too, honestly, because I don't have a lot of time to commit to the game anymore. But I'm also, if I win that, then I'm happy as well. But we'll see what happens.
Well, in that case, I definitely wish you the best of luck in your next match, and I wish you the best of luck in college. This is your first year?
No, this would be my second year.
Second year. Boy, how do I keep up? I feel like you're always going to be the same age you were when I met you, Scott.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Just a young tyke. So when are we doing comms together, Scott?
We'll figure it out, I guess. Whenever there's a good time.
All right. Well, we can't let that interfere with your schooling, Scott. So we're gonna have to be strategic about that.
On the weekends, it should be okay. So far, things have been fine. I think Fridays will probably be okay too. So if there's any good races on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we can try and figure something out.
Hopefully we'll make that happen. It does not look like we're going to get Sloaters in here for an interview, but it was really great to watch her race today. Anything else you want to say, Scott, before we close the show?
Just GG to Sloaters. Thanks you two for commentating. I know I sound very negative, but I did still have fun, even though I was a bit frustrated with this run. I felt like, at the very least, Meridia segment was pretty solid, and I felt like after that I was playing pretty well. So I feel like even if the run wasn't up to my liking, I feel like I probably still could have finished with an okay time, if I hadn't soft locked anyway. So, but still, GG. Definitely deserved win by Sloaters here.
Well, sounds great, Scott. Well, definitely, I hope you get some time to prepare before your next match, and I hope your first semester for your second year of school goes really well. And Diddy, I'm glad I got to call a race with you. Thank you for jumping on. I thought I was going to be alone, so I'm really glad that I had somebody to bounce some comms off of. You have anything left to say about the race? Any perspective you wish to share?
No, I wish Scott would have been able to go to the end, but GG to Scott, GG to Sloaters, and good luck for the next round.
Sounds great. Well, everybody, thank you so much for coming out here and watching us. Please make sure you follow the runners, both really super excellent Super Metroid players. And I believe we do have a match coming up in about an hour and a half. I'm not exactly sure where it was. Somebody had posted it earlier, but be on the lookout. Should be an exciting match, as all of the rest of the matches we have are going to be super exciting. So from us over here at Speed Gaming, thank you very much, and we will see you next mission.
Bye.